Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, we are live here with a very exciting stream. We got Paul from Intravenous Software here again to show us this awesome new update to Space Bob versus the Replicons. Now there is a survival mode, and this is really exciting. So I'm going to let Paul jump in and start talking about this new mode while I get into it and get dirty. Paul, you want to tell us something about it? Did I lose Paul? Paul, are you here? Well, we're going to start the survival mode and hope that Paul shows up. Let's check this out real quick. Oh, Paul, are you here now?
Yep.
Okay, that was my fault. Could you hear anything that I said?
No.
Okay, basically I introduced the game and I introduced you and I said that you are now going to tell us a little bit about this new update that you have added to the game.
And I'm sitting there going, and I'm trying to give you stream titles because you said, oh, I'm just going to change the stream title. And
Yeah.
That was the last I heard. And I'm going, oh, well, how about this? And how about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you. Okay, so this is main update 13. It wasn't meant to be out today. So Lame Games getting is like the first look at it ever. Why Space Bob kind of only fill in 3/4 of the screen?
That is because there's other stuff that is going to be in the way. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll get the chatters. Wow, look at this. Is this a new world?
This one was added 2 updates ago. This was added in main update 11.
Okay.
This is a new biome.
I'm failing here.
It's this biome that you find. You find the new familiars, the things that follow you around. I don't know which planet you're on.
Okay.
Is it?
So this is where I can find some friends, basically.
Well, maybe not that. I mean, you'll find part of like there's 4 of these planets. I don't know which one this one is.
Oh, there's an upgrade machine, I think.
This isn't the one where you actually start the progress. This is like a Galostia 2 or something, I think.
Okay.
You'll come here later, but yeah, just explore. So I take it you've chosen survival mode.
I did. We are
Right.
in the survival mode, and I'm gonna try to survive. I think I'm gonna go. Do I want the mushroom? The mushrooms are 100 energy, aren't they?
You want now on this planet, all these mushrooms are just basically scenery or hazards. There are some mushrooms on this planet you can collect, but most of them you can't. Most of them are going to be dangerous.
Oh, yeah. This place is looking pretty barren.
It's a very well. I just saw where close to where you are. I just saw some hyperfuel crystals.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's some hyperfuel over here as well.
And you
Okay.
definitely want to collect everything because in survival mode, maybe not in normal difficulty. If you just play normal difficulty, it shouldn't be too bad. But there's less resources in survival mode than in normal mode.
Okay.
So you kind of want to collect everything until you're stocked up before you start thinking, I'm just going to jump around and fly around, because you could quite easily run out of vital resources.
What is this? Oh, there's a little thing right here. Oh, I'm just gonna grab that. Attach that.
Is that a little ball? Or they're
little-
worth lots of points eventually, because you have to take those little balls and stick them in something, and they change, and then it fills them up with stuff, and then you take that filled up ball and stick it in somewhere else, and then it becomes worth like huge points.
Wait, so I can fill the ball with stuff? Oh, look at the
Yeah,
way it
you
rolls.
need-
Oh, that's so cool.
You need to find where to put the ball. So that ball is something you actually want to keep. You know, you don't want to
Don't recycle that.
salvage it.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to take it back up there and actually put it in one of the rooms before it falls in the recycler, and then you'll find a machine on one of the planets that just fits that shape perfectly, and you stick the ball in it and it'll fill it up with fuel or hyperfuel or something. But then you can take that filled ball somewhere else into another machine, and I'll activate that machine, and that's so you've got some ilmenite there on the
Oh,
left.
look at that with the ilmenite.
And you want to collect most of everything, because the way I've tuned this survival mode is it's easy to run out of resources,
Okay.
and you're going to need a lot. Like in the normal mode, all you'd need is one of those rocks to be able to upgrade your suit.
Right.
But
I
normal
remember
mode
that.
your normal mode is meant to be played over like an hour and a half. In this mode, you're going to need 6 or 7 of those rocks to be able to upgrade your suit.
Okay.
I think that just stuck, did it?
Do resources? It's just stuck behind the little ridge. Do the resources get consumed a bit faster? Does my fuel get consumed faster, or is there any?
Right, let me go through the patch notes.
Yeah, let's hear that.
All right, so Bob is no longer trapped in a time loop. The jump gate has been hidden by the replicons, and he will need to craft a new quantum sensor upgrade. Now, Dave's going to tell you that about 8 minutes into the game. He's going to, because I think when you started the game, I don't know whether you noticed, but Dave said, "Oh, the jump gate's disappeared."
I did see that. I did. Oh no, there's clouds coming at me. Oh gosh, the clouds. Okay, sorry, I had to get away from the mushroom clouds.
Yeah, they hurt a little bit.
So the jump gate is gone. No more jump gate.
Yeah. So at about 8 minutes, Dave's going to say something. Is this it?
That might have. He might have. No.
Nice. Oh, I can't actually see. Oh, let me just expand this a bit so I can see. No, you're only 4 minutes into the game. At about 8 minutes into the game, Dave realizes how we can solve the problem. And he's going to say, right, I've worked out, if you can collect all of these materials, I'll be able to make this new sensor, this experimental sensor, and we can detect the jump gate again. But that is going to require an enormous amount of materials to pull off.
Okay.
So that's your long-term, like really long-term, 20 hours into the game kind of goal. Right, so all the materials for all crafting recipes has been increased by 5 times.
Woo!
Which seems like a lot, but like in the previous build, you could basically craft everything in the game in about an hour to an hour and a half.
Right.
And so in a game that lasts 20 hours, you don't want to be crafting everything in an hour and a half, although you kind of like run out of things to do. And I play tested that, and it feels right. I actually play tested it at 4 times, and it was like, that's actually still a bit quick. So I made it 5 times. The Replicon invasion speed varies based on the difficulty setting. So they appear more slowly, they spread across the world, the system more slowly, they appear on planets more slowly. When you kill replicons, they respawn more slowly. So you've basically got more time. So on normal difficulty, it's about twice the amount of time. So you'll see spiders around 20 minutes into the game instead of 10 minutes, and you'll see like the rasks more like after an hour and a half instead of 45 minutes. That kind
good.
Of thing.
Those rasks.
More time at the start.
Yeah,
incidentally, rask damage has been reduced by 33% in this build. I think that rock either hasn't been detached or it's bugged and it's stuck.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a good old.
I thought, yeah, it happens. And this just happened to be the first rock you saw.
We're gonna ride on out here back to the base. So it takes a little bit longer for the enemies to take over and ruin Bob's good time.
Yeah, and it's also when I was playtesting it, like in invasion mode, that's like invasion mode's all trying to kill you. And I noticed while I was playing it, I'd be on a planet, and like I'm trying to collect everything on the planet, so I'm on the planet for like 20, 30, 40 minutes sometimes, depending on what's on the planet. And the replicons are everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was just horrible, because it's like I'm killing them, but they're respawning as
right.
fast as I'm killing them. So I changed all of that in this mode, so it starts ramping up the time between respawns based on how many you've killed and how many replicons are already there, kind of thing. So you'll have a bit more freedom on the planets to do what you want to do. But the replicons, obviously, you still want replicons coming and hassling you, or else it just becomes boring.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh! What have I done? Oh, this is my fault. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Hold on. We got this, folks. We got this. I forgot the weight of the.
I think it was caught. I think it was snagged underneath.
Oh yeah.
It was hanging down and got snagged underneath. Right. Right. So replicon invasion speed varies on difficulty.
Advanced sensor now craftable. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Dave probably telling you this. Yeah. Dave's now explaining that he's just solved this.
Oh, he's got the solution.
So he's basically saying if you can craft it, he said I've added another recipe to your crafting panel.
And if I can get enough, then I can craft it.
Yeah, but you're gonna need a lot.
All right.
You know, you're used to invasion mode things saying like you need, I don't know, 8. Well, we got like 8 quartz. and that the advanced sensor is going to need 200 or something like that.
What is... Oh, this is a teleporter. Okay, this is new. I've never seen this before.
So yeah, Dave's telling you about it.
Yeah, you're about to die. As long as you have 1,000 energy in storage, it'll teleport you back here. So as long as I have 1,000 energy, if I die, it will just bring me back here? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I thought it was 1,500. You might have just spotted a bug. I might not have updated that actual
The
message.
string. Ah, okay. Well, there we go.
I might not have. Yeah, I know I did, but then I've changed the amount it costs for the teleporter multiple times during playtesting this week. This build. So it might be 1,000. It might be 1,000. It might be 1,500. It depends. It depends what difficulty level you're on. Did you just do it on standard?
I did standard, yeah. So that may be...
I think it's 1,500. Well, we'll find out because the teleporter turns green when it's active.
Oh.
So at the moment it's not active.
Right.
Because it was red.
So I'm going to go here and energize myself.
But do be careful because you've got limited energy for repairs and stuff. And until you've got that 1,000 or 1,500 energy, you can still die and it's permanent.
That's scary. That does scare me.
Yeah. You see, you're nearly out of energy now for repairs.
Yeah.
So be very, very careful. Like, this survival mode is now more about being efficient than anything else. It's like, okay, I don't want to be jetpacking if I don't have to. Unless I've got enough energy, I don't want to be taking any damage. And this is a very dangerous planet. It's very toxic. You're going to have acid rain on this planet that's going to burn through you. All these mushrooms burn through you. It's one of the most dangerous planets in the game.
Yeah,
so
it looks really scary.
If you die here, unless you can get energy first.
I have jump fuel. I should be able to just bounce
jump
out
somewhere else.
I think it's a good time.
I mean, you could just like be running around on the surface thinking you're fine, and acid rain can just melt you on this.
Oh, that's too scary for me. We're gonna go somewhere a little bit safer.
But once you've got that energy, you've got the backup then, and I don't need to keep warning you. So,
bam.
Got that one.
Okay, beautiful stuff.
Right, so more patch notes. Where are we?
Let's hear it.
Right, the time Replicon defense stations first appear is slowed down. Defense stations have multiple expansion rings that control when the various Replicon types appear. This was always the case. The time these rings appear has also been altered to match the difficulty chosen. So you see how the ring hasn't really expanded from the boss very much at all on that map.
Yeah.
You know, so it's taken a lot longer before it's going to get to you. So you've got plenty of time before the Replicons arrive.
And that's what I want. More time. I'm so excited that this is something that you can just save and continue playing. You can play the game for 30 minutes, save it, put it away, pick it up again tomorrow, and continue where you were at. And that was something that I really, really wanted. So I'm excited to see this.
You could always do that.
Well, you had to get to the jump gate, right?
Well, no, you could save at any point.
Oh, could you?
Yeah.
I thought I thought on the old mode it didn't offer like a save option or anything.
No, if you quit to desktop, it would save.
Well, there, I learned something new. I'm learning all kinds of new stuff.
Originally, like when the game was first released in early access, you couldn't save.
Okay.
But then everyone moaned so much, the first update was the save system that allowed you to save at any point. But you have to quit to desktop. It doesn't auto-save.
Gotcha.
Because it's a roguelite, so it's like it's trying to kill you. And there's no way you can save scum. It's not like you can copy your save file and reload it if you die. That just won't work. The game notices and it won't let you do it.
This is a great planet.
Yeah,
There's
you've got plenty of energy there.
So,
exactly what
oh
you
my
need.
goodness, look at this giant tankard of energy, I'm guessing, is what that is.
It's behind a locked door, though.
Can I go the long way? Is there a long way? No. Yes, I can go the long way. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do, Paul. Okay, let's get down there.
Well, yeah, you can attempt it, but I'd get the energy first.
Yeah.
Go grab the energy, take it back, have that safety net in case you die, sort of thing. But yeah, if you didn't know you couldn't save the game, yeah, you could always save the game. Right.
Love this. Just plummeting downward. Now is this okay? So this is water. I guess I'm just gonna take my ship down there.
Right,
Look
the minimum
at these
and maximum
landscapes.
number of crystals that can spawn on any planet reduces based on the current difficulty setting. So on the standard difficulty setting, it's about the same as before, just a tiny bit less than invasion mode. But at the highest difficulty settings, you'll be lucky if you find one crystal on every planet.
Oof, that's tough.
You know, oh yeah, it's very tough. I've been playtesting it on 200% damage, which is like 2 steps up from normal difficulty. And it still spawns it can spawn up to 3 on a planet, but you normally get 1 or 2. And it's doable, but you have to be very efficient. You should be. When I playtested it on normal, this difficult, I had like full resources within about 3 or 4 planets, so you shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with what I've been given here.
But I'm happy to watch you playing this, because I know that like whenever I've watched you, you either run out of resources or kill yourself.
That's my thing.
relatively quickly. So it's like I need to see that like just your average player that isn't massively experienced how survival mode works for them. So it's useful watching you. Right, the average number of Ilmenite spawns on each planet reduces based on the current difficulty setting too, so you get less Ilmenite, but that won't be affecting you too much. Okay, of course, all the old exploration mode achievements and challenges have gone and been replaced by survival mode achievements.
Oh, beautiful. So a whole new set of things to discover and achieve.
Many changes to Dave's dialogue have been made to suit survival mode. Additional dialogue and conversation for Dave has been added to survival mode. Crystals, Ilmenite, and carbon plants all now respawn. Respawn rates vary based on the biome and the object type. This takes from 5 to 10 hours.
Oh, wow.
So you can come back to a planet after 5 or 10 hours based on which type of planet it is. Dave will kind of give you hints and tips on that later in the game. But you can come back and the crystals will have respawned, or the Ilmenite will have respawned, so you can keep going, you know, even if you've been to every planet and cleaned out every planet, you can come back later and they'll start respawning.
Oh, that's so cool. So it makes a lot of sense to even go backwards and really just screw around the whole map. The whole map is open at this point.
Yep. Yeah, and you kind of like on the higher difficulty settings, the ones I was playing at 200% difficulty, I had to kind of clear up everything on a planet because it's like resources were so tight that I couldn't really risk not collecting everything before moving on, because I might run out of resources to come back.
Right.
I needed to collect everything, but on this game mode, it was relatively forgiving. I started on normal difficulties to begin with when I was playtesting. It was really relatively forgiving. Like I said, I'd filled up all my resource tanks within, I think, 4 or 5 planets, and within like an hour.
Okay.
Right, what else we got? The Mega Cube and all related storyline elements do not appear in survival mode, so I don't even if you ever got to that stage in the normal game. But
don't even think I saw a Mega Cube.
That was the Mega Cube you wouldn't have seen until you completed Act 2.
Ah, there you go.
The music choice now dynamically alters to match the pacing of survival mode based on the chosen difficulty setting. Right, so they're the main things that changed in survival mode, but there's a whole bunch of changes, like twice as many changes that affect both survival mode and main mode. Right, so the point system has now been completely overhauled. Previously, you used to get points based on the amount of resources you had in storage, not the amount of resource you'd ever collected. That was deliberate because I felt like if you chose to do an upgrade, I wanted it to be a decision like you think, well, if I don't make the upgrade, I'll have more points because I won't use the resources. But if I take the upgrade, obviously I'll be stronger, but I'll have less points because I won't have so many resources in storage. But that doesn't really suit survival mode, where it takes hours to collect everything, and I didn't want people thinking, oh, I can't upgrade, otherwise I'll lose my points. So now your points are awarded for whenever you salvage something, you get points for it.
Beautiful.
And those points are permanent. They don't go down if you use them.
Okay.
All respawning resources have had their value increased significantly. So things like crystals, Ilmenite, and the carbon plants are all worth an awful lot more points now than they used to be. That was done to reward players who just like salvaging. You know, so you could just continue for hours now. I mean, you could literally play it like a survival mode and try and survive for 200 hours and just keep collecting respawnable stuff. It was worth a lot of points. Okay, the various carbon plants for each biome have been given additional bonus salvage points. Again, similar reason. I wanted those to be more valuable to players, so they had the incentive to keep moving between planets to go for the most valuable stuff. Replicon loot has been reworked to better balance the value of Replicon farming versus resource farming. So the things that Replicons drop have all been changed, just slightly tweaked around, just to balance everything again. So
to increase or decrease their value?
It actually was. I've not nerfed anything. I've just buffed stuff.
Okay.
So like the leaderboards now should be in jeopardy. Even the number 1 spot, you should be able to score an awful lot more points now, because what I noticed when I was playing survival mode was, it's like, well, what I could do, because the Replicons keep spawning, is just stay on one planet and just farm Replicons for points and for materials, and there was no incentive to keep moving. So a lot of changes were made to incentivize keep moving, because the stuff that respawns is worth more than the Replicon loot, and you're going to need to collect a lot of the stuff that respawns in order to complete the game, sort of thing, and they're worth a lot of points.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
It just rewards moving from planet to planet rather than trying to just sit on one planet and just farm Replicons as they keep respawning.
Yeah, because that's what I would do. I would just stick around.
Yeah. And I mean, you're going to do that anyway. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like sticking around for 40 minutes on a planet, but there'll become a point where you've cleaned all the resources off the planet, and the only thing respawning for the next few hours is going to be Replicons, and it's not more valuable to stay there and farm them than it is to move to the next planet and collect more resources. It's better to move to the next planet.
Okay.
Right. The time since last Bob visited each planet is now displayed on the system map.
Wow, really? Okay, that is so cool. I love that.
Yeah, so it's like when you look at a planet, you're not going to see this new data because you haven't visited the planet yet.
Right.
But when you jump away from the planet and look back at that planet, it'll say you last visited this 34 minutes ago.
Oh, so perfect.
And that's required, obviously, in survival mode, because you're thinking, well, when... like, say you visited 30 planets, you want to know which one you visited 7 hours ago, because the resources have probably respawned. Now, you probably missed it on the last few builds, but you could tell which planets you'd visited before, because the jump line between the planets would turn green if you had visited the planet before.
Okay, I was not aware of that.
No, and the fact you weren't aware of it was something I noticed, and it just wasn't obvious enough, so I thickened the line when it turns green.
Okay.
Now. So you should be able to now notice these green lines between planets you've visited more easily. So you'll just be able to visually see which ones you've been to, and then you can find out exactly how long it's been since you've been to that planet by looking at the text.
So green line means I've been there, and then the text shows me how long it's been since a little Replicon shit. That's good. I love that. I love those features that really kind of smooth out the experience.
Yeah. Okay, this one's not so important. The continue from saved game button no longer appears if saved data is incompatible for any reason. I noticed that could still happen. It would, so like if for some reason your save became incompatible, maybe you'd updated the game. The continue from saved would still appear, but it wouldn't load the save. It would, the timing was wrong on codes there. Not important, it's just one of those little kind of bug fixes. Replicon expansion speed across the system has been halved for the lowest difficulty setting in invasion mode.
Halved? Oof, that's a lot, isn't it? It gives you a lot more time.
Yeah, but it's the same as this mode you're in now.
Okay.
But that's only for the lowest.
Oh no! 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 No!
Okay, that's not good, is it?
Oh! There was Replicons messing with my ship.
You were teleported. It saved you.
Whew.
But your lander's gone, so you've basically died anyway, because without your lander...
I'm screwed.
You're kind of screwed, and it's so close to the beginning of the game.
I think it's time to give it another rego. Can we rebuild landers?
No. You can't rebuild landers, and I've considered it so many times, and I don't want you to... It doesn't make sense. There's no clean solution for it, so you're going to have to kill Bob. Because another one of the changes that we were getting to is I've changed the quit menu in this version, because I had complaints from people who didn't like that if you quit the game, because there was a quit option, so in a situation like this you could just quit.
Yeah.
It didn't save. Somebody had pressed the quit, it didn't save the game for them, and they lost their save, thinking, even though in great big letters it said your game will not be saved.
Right.
So just to prevent that, because I thought that's more annoying for players to lose their save than it is to just have to kill Bob if you want to start a new game. So you're going to have to kill him.
Yeah, we're going to go down and we're going to go say hello to some Replicons. That hurts.
The other alternative, there is one other way to bypass it, which would be to Alt F4 the game, and when you restart, it would just consider Bob was dead, because that's like one of the safety measures that you can't cheat the game. If you try and Alt F4 before you die, it'll go, well, you were dead anyway, mate. Sorry.
We'll just say hello to this little Replicon here. So I gotta be careful with that. Replicons always on the prowl. Bob is dead.
Yeah, you've got to protect your lander. Because obviously the new familiars will let you survive and play without a lander, but until you've got the familiars, it's like you need your lander.
That hurts.
Now, of course, you could always drop the difficulty level. You could drop it down to the easiest level. Everything appears much more slowly. You take half damage. The only thing is your score will count, but there's no score multiplier on the lowest difficulty setting. So just go to survival mode.
We're gonna go with the normal. We're gonna go with the normal. I don't want to make it too easy.
Just have a look before you start.
I already jumped in.
No worries. There's when you move the difficulty slider, it tells you all the changes it makes.
Okay, cool.
So you could have checked that out. So yes, and I found this when I started playing survival mode. I'm thinking, I'm just going to mooch around, everything's going to be fine, and I kept dying. And I thought, well, it's not like I've made the game massively easier. The Replicons come later, but in a sense, it's a little bit harder at the start because you can't just collect a couple of Ilmenite rocks and upgrade your army.
And then run away.
4 or 5 of them first. So for the first 20 or 30 minutes of survival mode, you've got to be a little doubly careful. And I'll just warn you here. So yeah, you want all of that. Have you noticed you can set waypoints now?
I did, yes. That's been there for a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah, use them. They're so useful.
What, just in
So you just find something you want to
go here, and then I set...
then just press you're using a controller, so it's just the different D-pad, left, down, and right on the D-pad will let you put little markers next to stuff.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay.
So when you're flying around, it's like you can see where they are.
Let's see. That looks like that's it for the stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll set another waypoint right there.
So I'll just give you a tip here. The water on this planet is methane, which hurts. So try not to go in the water.
Oh, okay.
There's almost certainly heavy hail on this planet, which damages Bob and his lander. So if you can put your lander inside a cave, that will be much better. I'm trying to give you some tips because obviously it's like I don't particularly need you or want you to die.
Yeah, so I would like to survive as well.
I'm trying to give you the heads up on the threats that can hurt you. So you can hear heavy hail as it's hitting the ground, but it will damage you and it will damage Bob's lander. The same way acid rain does. So you kind of want to park your lander inside a cave if possible, out of the way of the rain and the hail on this planet.
I don't have an option over here. We're just gonna wing it, Paul.
Yeah, you can go for that too. You can do that too. Of course, if you're just landing to pick something up, that's fine. You'll hear the heavy hail coming, and it doesn't do that much damage. Just you wouldn't want to leave your lander sitting on the surface and go away for 10 minutes.
Right.
Because you could come back and it could be severely damaged or even destroyed by the heavy hail. But as long as it's nearby you, you're going to be fine.
Okay.
But if you're going in a cave, that's a fairly good idea on most planets now. Because until you know which planets have got the things that do damage.
Yeah, and I'm going to remember not to use the scanner while I'm sitting inside the frickin'...
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened? I didn't notice.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, don't do that. And especially later in the game when you've got Rasks running around, because the Rasks will just completely melt your ship. You've got to be in scan mode. Really, you should only ever use when you're up in the refinery ship, where you're completely safe.
Right. So it makes sense to really use those waypoints go
Yeah.
scan, find the stuff that you want to do, and then go do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to jump to a planet and I'll do a scan of one side of the planet, and usually in survival mode, that's enough because you survive you survey one side and you think, well, I need that, and that, and you go and collect it, bring it back to the ship, and then I'll scan the other side of the planet and think, do I want to go collected stuff on the other side too?
Boom, boom.
So I think now you're going to need 4 of these ilmenite rocks to make the first upgrade, the armor upgrade. I actually changed that today. So it's either 4 or 5. I think it's 4.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. You know, just and they're fairly common on most planets, so you should be able to grab 4. I just wanted to make it just a little bit more difficult.
It's a good way to get you started, get things moving. Go get some ilmenite.
Kind of the first things you should be thinking of is getting 4 ilmenite rocks and some energy crystals. And if you can't find any energy crystals, have a look for the stalagmites and see if they've got some energy in them.
That's
because
right.
if you can get yourself to 1,000 energy, you've got that safety net of you can't die.
I love the
now, you can still
teleporter.
lose your lander, but you can't die. Right, what else we've got going on here? I'm going back to my notes.
Come
okay,
on,
there's some
shit.
changes to the leaderboard panel, but you don't need to know that now. Improve the automatic detachment of grapples when entering the refinery ship to be more intuitive. Okay, I noticed while I was playtesting that it kept annoying me that it wasn't quite detaching as I wanted them to when I wanted them to, so I made some improvements there. Okay, the save system's been extended to prevent Dave from commenting on old events after loading from a save. You wouldn't know anything about that because you didn't know you could save the game.
Yeah. Missed out on that one.
Yeah, the quit panel has been reworked. I was talking about this earlier. Both quit buttons now automatically save your game to prevent any confusion or mistakes when quitting. The quit game button now reads quit to main menu. Players now need to deliberately kill Bob to permanently end their current game. The tips panel has been updated to reflect changes in this update. If Bob shoots his own lander, it now only does 50% of the damage it used to do. Rask damage has been reduced by 25%. Dart damage, which you've probably never seen, has been reduced by 30%.
Probably have not seen that. Okay.
Right, the maximum distance that the various replicons can travel from their host defense station has been tweaked. It's possible that some distant planets may only ever see spiders or no replicons at all. It all depends on quite where the defense stations spawn, and darts, the replicons that look like circular saws, I doubt you've ever seen them, will now only appear on planets very close to the replicon mothership.
I don't think that I've seen those, and I don't want to. That sounds horrific.
Yeah, they will literally melt you. It's like it's the final enemy that you find on the mothership, but they can spawn away from the mothership, but I've timed it up so they spawn closer, but they look like circular saws and they move like circular saws, and if they touch you, you're basically dead. You would need some serious armor to survive like even a slight touch from them.
Okay, let's mark this ilmenite here.
Rasks can no longer jump while shocked. That was actually a bug, but it wasn't obvious. So if you've got a Rask and they kind of crouch down and then jump at you.
Right.
If you shoot them just as they crouch down, they used to still jump even while they were shocked. And that was actually a bug they shouldn't have done. Now that's fixed. So if they're crouching down ready to jump and then you shoot them and shock them, they're kind of just shocked and they can't jump anymore. So you can kind of get Rasks caught in, like you can just keep shooting them once you start, as long as you keep them in shocked mode. So it makes it easier to deal with Rasks.
Okay. Beautiful.
Replicons no longer take damage from liquids to avoid a loot exploit. So I like the fact that they could die, but I found in survival mode when you're on a planet for 40 minutes, a planet like this with methane pools would just be full of dead replicons and all their loot sitting at the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
So I had to change that. Otherwise that'd soon get exploited.
All right.
The mass of stalagmites has been reduced by approximately 25% to make them more viable salvage options.
Okay, that's nice. I did find that those added significant weight when you were trying to. So if you had a bunch of crystals and you wanted to add one of those on, it was almost infeasible.
Yeah, now that was always deliberate because it was like, well, there's so many stalagmites on the planets that it could make those crystals kind of irrelevant.
Oh, that's
collect
fair.
all your energy from stalagmites and stuff. So I made them very heavy, so they were still useful, but you kind of needed to only search the smallest stalagmites because otherwise it just wasn't relevant. They were too heavy to move around. But in this game mode, because it's like survival mode, and especially on the harder difficulties, you could find situations where there wasn't enough crystals in the world to survive. So you were trying to get extra energy and extra fuel from killing replicons and even farming a few stalagmites. So their weight has been reduced by 25%. So it's even more useful now to scan stalagmites and see what's in them, and especially the lighter, smaller stalagmites. Something you probably didn't know is that thing you're very close to, the ice geyser, that's spurting ice smoke up into the air.
Yeah, this fancy thing over here.
It's changed in the last update. This changed. It now does damage and it freezes you twice as fast as it used to.
Oh.
So you can get frozen solid and it's killing you while it's doing it.
Oh,
so
I don't like that. That scares me.
Yeah, stay away. Don't park too close to those, because although you'll survive it if you're just stood there, if a replicon comes walking along while you're frozen solid,
you're a goner.
You're a goner. Yeah.
Okay, let's...
Now, if you take that energy back to your ship, then you'll have more than 1,000 energy and you're safe. You can't die. That's not your style.
Let's see how dangerous I can get here, Paul.
You don't play safe.
Because I want this Ilmenite.
Maybe you'll start playing safe when you're 4 hours into survival mode and you think one mistake and I'm dead. So yes. Yeah, absolutely. 20 minutes into the game, it's not such a big deal. There's hail, look. Can you see it's bouncing around? There's hail.
Can I see it?
Up. Yeah.
Oh, that's the hail.
Yeah.
Oh,
see
okay.
How it bounces on the ground, but there's hail and then there's heavy. And heavy hail. I think that's just hail. I don't think that does damage.
Okay. Well, is this?
But you would hear it if it was hurting your lander. It would give him.
Oh my God! Wow, this is a big one. What is in here? 500 energy. Look at that. Okay. Can I shoot this?
Now the bubble thing is very dangerous near you too. Be careful near that bubble thing.
I think I got it.
Drip, yeah. Just the drips off the bubbles really hurt. They're very dangerous. So yeah, that stalagmite is going to be extremely heavy. So you think, oh, 500 energy, but like three energy crystals is over 1,000 energy. So, and they weigh about the same. So the stalagmite is there if you're in a pinch and you need it, but that's going to be very heavy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to pull all of these up, but I'm going to try.
But you can winch them up. Now Bob's jetpack can now is a little bit stronger than it used to be. I don't know whether you're used to it, but yeah, by default it can now lift 2 of those rocks. It's strong enough to lift 2 of those rocks. It won't manage any more. You won't be able to lift all 3 of those things, but on its own, his jetpack could lift both of the brown rocks. And it could probably lift that one stalagmite all on its own, but not with anything else. So you'll have to winch it out if you're going to do all 3 at once.
There we go.
Right, another change. The range at which wasps can detect and follow the player has been increased.
Oh, that's scary.
That sounds like a nerf, but it's actually a buff. It was deliberate. It actually makes life easier because one of the pro strats on the harder difficulty levels of survival mode is farming live wasps. And getting live wasps back up to your refinery ship, and it was annoying because they had quite a short distance where they would follow Bob, and so they kept breaking off and flying away. So I changed it so it's even easier to make wasps chase you all the way up to the refinery ship and salvage them live.
Get them in there. Okay.
Yeah. But that's kind of an advanced strategy. It's a dangerous thing to do. You need to know how to do it. You need to practice it at the beginning of the game, not like 5 hours into a game where they could kill you. Because like I'll go and try and farm 10 wasps at once and have them all chasing me all the way back to the refinery.
Yeah, I can see that being a good time.
Yeah, and I mean, when you know how to do it, it's almost guaranteed success. You might take a tiny bit of damage off one of them as you're trying to put them into the refinery, but yeah, you don't want to practice that after loads of time played. Oh, here's another one. The spider drop pods will now sometimes self-destruct. So the spider drop pods, the things that the spiders arrive on the planet in survival mode when you're on a planet, obviously these would just keep mounting up. As you can imagine, they keep spawning over time.
Yeah, and they just build up and build up.
Yeah, and I was getting like 20 or 30 on a single planet, and it's like, well, that's not going to work. The performance is going to tank, and the player can't even move anymore.
Yeah.
And then they're going to start landing on top of the resources, so you can't even get to the resources. So now there's a maximum number of them on the planet, and the actual code in the background, once it hits that maximum number of those drop pods sitting on the planet, it just picks one that's at least 200 meters away from Bob, and then sets it to self-destruct. So you're never going to be playing around with one of them or be stood next to it, and it's never going to start self-destructing when you're nearby, but a distant one might, and you might just find yourself landing next to it while it's already starting to explode. But
okay.
Have you ever tried shooting one of those?
Yeah, shoot.
Destroy them.
Yeah.
So when you've done enough damage, they start exploding, but they explode slowly. It's like there's a little explosion, then another little explosion, then another little one, then they go boom, and the whole thing goes off. So you can see it happening. But
I love that.
Fixed an issue when attempting to register in a shower. This is a bug. Yeah, that should actually not be in that list. That should unmove that. That should be in the bug list, not in the changes list. So there was a bug. If you lost connection to Steam when you hit an achievement, it would actually hang the game, but only if you just completed gone through the jump gate.
Oh,
okay,
no.
that's another bug. It needs to move.
Come on, baby, you can do this.
The material for Bob's laser sight has been reworked to be visible against both light and dark backgrounds. That was something I noticed while doing my playtesting. There was one planet that had a very white background, and you could no longer see Bob's laser. So.
What did you add to the laser? A blue background?
You can now see it against any kind of background.
Oh, okay.
So the laser is like a transparent white.
Yeah.
And against a white background, you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Or against any really bright background. And this was never an issue until the last update, where we added lots of very bright backgrounds, like very sunny backgrounds. And you could never see it. Now it's like it'll turn kind of like a dark grey.
Oh, I did it! Oh, I did it! I thought I was gonna screw it up, and I did it.
I thought you were gonna screw it up as well.
Woo!
But here's a tip: when you've got that much weight, it's actually better to make 2 trips where your lander can move quickly than to make one where you're using fuel constantly to move really slowly. You'll use more fuel making one big trip that takes ages than to just fly up and down twice.
Oh, look at that. Oh, beautiful.
Because I actually tested it to see what the situation is there. And yeah, if you're at that max weight, you're better off just landing, dropping half the weight, and making 2 trips. It takes a little bit more. Well, no, actually, it probably doesn't even take any more time, but it's more efficient on fuel.
Probably, yeah.
It definitely is. I checked it.
But you know me, Paul. I bring all the groceries in at the same time, hanging from my leg, arm, back, neck, everything. We put it all together. One trip.
17 shopping bags.
17.
You should maybe go for the world record on that.
Oh wow! Look at all this energy I have now. Look at that.
Okay, so now your teleport is green, which means the only thing you really need to be very concerned about is your lander now. To make sure your lander's safe all the time.
So I need to find fuel.
You need to find fuel, yes, and you also need to find Ilmenite so you can armor up.
I actually have. Don't I have 4 Ilmenite now? I believe.
If you've collected 4, press the start button to kind of go into the menus and come back out, and the recently salvaged will pop up and tell you if you've got anything to craft.
12 Ilmenite.
Yeah, and then come back out again. And if you had anything to craft, at the bottom of that green window, it would say new craft available.
Oh, okay. So I can't do anything.
No. If you had any crafts available, it would show you in big yellow letters at the bottom saying new crafting available.
I need.
But you'll be close.
24 Ilmenite.
And you've got. Oh, you need 50, and you've got 24.
Oh, I need 50. I got 24. Okay. Oh, did I just lose? I just
So
spent a lot of
actually-
energy.
Actually, no, you're gonna need. Let me just because I changed. So you did 4 rocks, and that was 24. So
Right.
another 4 would be 48. So you actually need
5.
9 total.
Oh, 9.
yeah,
For,
'cause
just to
you've
get the
done 4.
titanium.
Yeah, you
Right.
did. I'm going to change that again. I think that's a bit much.
Here
I'm just going to
is.
tweak it down a little bit.
Yeah, I would also look at the energy because it looks like the teleporter is red again, and I've got almost 2,000 energy.
Let's have a look. Oh. What?
Okay, so I think I'm just gonna go to another planet here. This one, well, let's do a really quick.
Yeah, that is strange. Okay, so I'll make a note of that. Something strange there. Why that turned red again? We're probably going to need to work out what triggers it. Because I've been watching that and it's always worked fine. So you just went into the crafting panel, didn't you? And it suddenly went red.
I did, yes. Well, I also pressed start, didn't I? I went into.
Yeah, that wouldn't have done anything. But I think going into the crafting panel might have reset something that.
Okay. That's why we do this stuff.
Think it will.
What if I teleport?
So the red and the green part of it will it updates whenever you add materials to storage or use materials from storage. So you should. Will it update if you repair?
Let's go
Yes.
to a new planet.
If you bumped your head and needed to do some repairs and went to your repair station, it would update the teleporter whether it was red or green. Because whenever you add or remove materials, it updates. Because it's like, unless you're using energy, it thinks, well, nothing's changed, I'm not updating it.
So
So if you bumped your head and then went for some repairs, it would probably update that.
let's bump my head a little bit here.
It would have to use a tiny bit of energy from. You'd have to damage yourself a little bit.
Okay.
You'd have to use a tiny bit of energy, and it should.
That,
update the teleporter. Yeah. So is the teleporter still red?
It's still red, yeah, and I have 1800. So that's something to look at. That's why we do these previews. Let's check out this island or this planet here. Oh, this is scary looking. And we've already got replicons showing up, and that's a good thing that I am scoping this out from here. Let's go ahead and mark this with a waypoint.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and I'll see if I can work out why.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
I'm not sure at the moment whether the actual teleporter is actually not working. So it's like it doesn't think you've got enough energy, or whether it's just a visual bug.
That's interesting. Should I try to die? I can just go say hello to those replicons.
No, don't try and die.
I don't have to try. I just do it naturally. Okay. Yeah, this is a barren wasteland over here, but we're gonna get a little bit of energy, and maybe
there's a
I'll.
mushroom over there which you probably want to collect.
Oh, is that one of the good? How do I tell the good mushrooms from the bad mushrooms?
Well, if it's on a planet that's full of mushrooms everywhere, you're gonna have to work out which ones are the good ones. But if it's just a mushroom all on its own it's always a good carbon mushroom.
Okay. So I think that's all I'm gonna get from here is a little bit of energy, a little bit of mushroom, and maybe I'll kill some replicons and take their goodness.
On a planet like this, do zoom in real close, because the fuel.
Oh, it's hard to
crystals
see.
can be really hard to see on the dark planets like this.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a quick flyby.
I've even landed next to. I've like highlighted some energy crystals, landed next to them, and went, oh, there's fuel crystals right next to it too, and I couldn't even see them.
Yeah, it's real.
So yeah, let me just open my notes. So I've got.
Oh, here's a little ball. Okay, I got a ball too.
Nine ilmenite rocks to craft. That's too many. Yeah, that's too many. I doubled the amount of ilmenite required to craft everything, but that's made it too many, requiring 9. You used to require 5.
Yeah, I would love.
I'm gonna change that back. That was too many, and I only changed that today because I thought, oh no, that's too easy. But I've buggered out, messed it up a bit.
Okay.
Alright, so
be careful of the wisp.
reduced on the night requirements in armor again.
Look, this is a sign of a dedicated developer right here. Live preview, taking notes, making it happen.
No, this will all be done tomorrow. Well, this is why I'm doing it. Today was meant to be more of this type of playtesting myself, and then you were so eager to play it. I thought, well, it makes no difference whether I'm playtesting it or you're playtesting it. In fact, it's more useful when you're playtesting it, because you're going to do strange things that I don't do and maybe find some bugs that I wouldn't.
I really mess things up. You know how to play well. I know how to just screw around, and that's
exactly. It's like as a developer, you almost know how to avoid bugs, but as a player, you don't. You don't, you know.
Yeah, and I like finding the weird things. I like trying to break things, and I do a lot of that stuff at work. So I like to find interesting ways to.
But this is, I mean, there was no plan to release this today, but you were so eager to play it. It was
Oh
like,
yeah.
Right, well, I'll put it on the passworded beta branch, and like nobody but you knows the password right now.
That's awesome. So I'm the only person in the world that gets to play this right now, and that makes me feel really special.
Yeah, and me. I can play it.
Oh,
like,
that right.
I mean, if one of the players on Steam says, "Oh, can I have the password?" and like they're not a whiny little bitch, then yes.
There you go. Get a password.
I don't think I've actually got any whiny little bitches at the moment, but there's some people who would just complain. You know, there's the type on the internet. You give them a password so they can try a test build, and then they'll just fill your forums with complaints of bugs.
Oh.
That's not how it works.
That's not very helpful.
That's not how it works.
He gave me a preview of the beta, and things were broken. Like, what is this?
Bugs. They will just. It's just because they will assume that their own. Because they don't know how the game actually works, they will assume something's a bug when it's not. It's actually meant to be like that.
Yeah.
You don't want the forum full of that kind of stuff because. For obvious reasons.
That's frustrating.
That's not buggy. Oh, did you notice that Bob now ejects with more force out of his lander? You once asked for that.
Did I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said. Oh, I'm pretty sure it was you.
I think. Yeah, I think so. Yes, and that looks really cool. I love that. Yeah, because you really had to really hit the thrusters. He would just release before, and then you had to hit the thrusters. But now you really, look at that.
Well, I did it for a number of. The reason it never did it before was, of course, if you're in a cave and there's a ceiling fairly close to you, you'd just smash your head into the ceiling.
Right.
So that was the reason why I never gave him that much eject force before, because I didn't want people smashing their head into the ceiling. But now you take so little damage from smashing your head into the ceiling, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
And it prevents another bug. Well, not a bug, another annoyance. If you were doing what you just said, you eject and then immediately hit your thrusters, you would, but you were spamming the eject button, you would eject. Then because the eject button is also the same button that swaps between controlling Bob and the lander, you would eject, spam the eject button, which would then swap control to the lander. Then you'd hit thrust because you wanted to thrust Bob, but you'd actually be thrusting the lander, which would put Bob back inside the lander, and you would not eject. So it's like
I hit that many times.
Yeah. So now I did the forced a bit more ejection power, and also the button that toggles control between Bob and the lander is disabled for 1 second after ejecting.
Okay.
So you could literally, even if you were trying to spam it and make that kind of, it's not a bug exactly, but that glitchy thing happen, it won't happen anymore.
Boom. Let's get all this goodness right here. Getting the goodness.
Okay, so what have you got in those big parts?
Oh, I didn't even check.
Yeah, have a look. Let's have a look, because I'm interested as well. I haven't checked them for a while, so I'm interested to know what's in the big parts.
So how are these parts all? These are just like pre-created assets, right? So when it explodes, it just randomly generates some.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just parts of the main ship that I cut up into pieces, and it's like I think it's got about 8 it can choose from.
Look at
So
that.
electronics, ilmenites, magnetics, and ilmenite, magnetics.
More
and polymers,
ilmenite?
okay.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, I'm getting quite a bit of ilmenite here.
So yeah, you're going to need 9 of the ilmenite rocks, which is too many. I was trying to make it around about 6, and I've obviously got the maths in my head bonkers because of course it's going to be 9.
Okay, let's...
Because one of the ilmenite rocks is 5 ilmenite, and the other ilmenite rock is 7 ilmenite, so 2 of them is 12, and it costs you 50. So you're gonna have 48 after collecting 8. So you're gonna need that 1 extra, but you won't because you've collected ilmenite there now. So you only need another 4 of the rocks. But...
Another 4 rocks.
Yeah, because you've got some ilmenite here, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I got 3 or 4 from here.
Well, like 4 rocks is 24 ilmenite. And so you've already got 24. Now you're going to have like 26, and another 4 rocks will be another 24 ilmenite, which will put you over the 50 that you need.
All right, look at all that loot. Yes. But
and
still,
don't forget you can press down on the D-pad to automatically detach your grapples.
That's what I was trying to remember what that was. Okay. So here's the thing. I still have no fuel. Oh, did I drop the ball into the... Oh, crap. Wait.
Okay, yeah, you are... This is dangerous because you don't have enough fuel to use your lander anymore.
Yeah.
Your lander will get... do not take your lander out because you don't have enough fuel to refuel the lander to bring it back. So it'll get stranded.
I have to go to a planet with fuel.
So, fuel, yes. You're gonna need to jump, and I mean, just do check carefully on this planet that there's no fuel anywhere, because it is dark and there might be.
Oh, yeah, I did the whole loop around the planet. There was absolutely none.
Right. Don't jump more than always jump to the nearest planet. Never jump far, because
we're going to Nia too.
You could jump to 3 planets and use no more jump fuel than just jump into the furthest one. So.
Oh, fair enough.
Now,
okay.
one way of getting fuel is wasps that are alive have fuel in them.
I think we're still a bit a ways away from wasps. Oh, look at these.
I could tell you how to do it safely, but let's just hope you've got fuel on this planet.
Fuel.
Let's just hope, because that will solve your problem. There's an upgrade machine there.
That is hyperfuel.
That's the yeah, that's hyperfuel. Or is it? Yeah,
It looked a little weird, didn't it?
Yeah, it's because it's part of these new shaders going on that changes the color. That might be fuel. Go back to it again. Let me have another look at it. It might have been fuel. It's kind of like bright sunlight, so it was changing the color of it.
Yeah.
But I think if bright sunlight on hyperfuel crystals, I think would just make them even more yellow or white.
Right. This is probably fuel.
I think that is fuel.
Okay.
That is definitely fuel. So there you go. So you want to drop Bob down all on his own. You can't take the lander because your lander won't get back again.
Right.
So Bob needs to drop down on his own, and now he's got enough lift power to bring all 3 of those back. So that's just your mission now, is to go and get that fuel. And the other thing you've learnt is now you need to be more efficient with your fuel usage, because you nearly didn't survive, should we say, in survival mode because you ran out of fuel. So you need to use your jetpack as little as possible, and you need to use the thrusters on your lander as little as possible until you've got a nice safety net of fuel in reserve.
And this is pretty amazing because now the planet is covered in replicons.
Yeah.
Oh, don't waste the fuel.
So yeah, use as little fuel as possible all the time. This is something I've learned now. In survival, because I mean this is what survival modes are about. It's mainly survival modes are about resource management more than like combat management. It's tradition for survival modes.
Let's drop down. Downward.
So even just moving left and right in the air while you're in the air uses fuel.
Yeah.
Because it uses the booster on the back of your jetpack.
Boom.
So just you want to in this mode until you should be soon enough have plenty of fuel. You'll fill up on fuel, but until you visit a few planets, because you've just been unlucky and not found enough fuel yet.
I have been pretty
RNG
unlucky
has
there.
given you everything but fuel.
This stuff isn't gonna kill me, is it?
No, that's fine.
Oh, but it's probably gonna make it for me harder to. It's probably better to just jetpack over it.
Oh yeah, jetpack over that. Sorry, I thought you meant the thing before it, the plant. But yeah, that's mud. It's very awkward to get across. So yeah, just jetpack across that.
Oh, and I have to go all the way up.
That's okay. This is all okay. I'd be feathering when I'm using the jetpack.
Oh, just take a little bit off
just
of
like
it.
Little burst, just to do as much as you can, because Bob's got a maximum speed in the air. So constantly thrusting isn't going to make you go any faster. So feathering is an even more efficient way of using fuel.
Okay. Wow, this is going to be really, really close.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit sketchy getting it back up there, but just like we'll see. Can you pull it off?
Oh my goodness.
As soon as you go off the edge, just let go of everything. You won't be using back. You'll be using fuel. If you're trying to move yourself in the air, now I see what you're trying to do, but you could just run off the edge and let go. And it doesn't matter that he's in the air. He won't use fuel unless you're actually pulling left or right on the controller.
Gotcha.
Because obviously the game thinks that if you're not making any controls, it won't use any fuel. But if you're trying to manipulate yourself in the air, Jesus, this fuel's a long way away. It is going to be close.
Oh no. Get the weapon out! Oh crap. This is not looking hot.
I think you can still do it, but it's really touch and go now.
Where are these things? Oh my goodness.
I didn't think they were this far away.
I don't remember them being this far away
Oh,
either.
they're on the top of the hill. Okay. It's going to be really close. Like really close. To the point where I would suggest you only take 2 crystals. Because if you take 3, you'll slow your jetpack speed down.
Oh my goodness.
So at this point, I would only take 2 crystals.
Get the small ones.
I mean, you can carry 3. That's not a problem. It's hard because it's like... The thing is, you're going to go back to your ship with 2 crystals, which will refuel you and put a little bit of fuel into your lander. Maybe, no, I think you maybe need all 3. Because otherwise you're still going to be in the same boat when you're finished.
Well, we're going to give this a go.
Yeah, you've already decided. We're going for 2. So, yeah, just run along the floor.
Woo.
Just fly over and run away from... Oh, okay. Yeah, kill him, mate.
Alright. Run, run, run!
Now, those little bits of shit can sometimes have fuel in.
Can they? There's another...
Some of the Replicon parts can have a teeny... Oh, no, it's mostly energy. It's live Replicons you need for fuel.
I'm scared. I hear a Replicon.
Yeah, he's far enough away.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, this... I don't know if you've got enough fuel to get back up into orbit. But you live and learn, don't you? It's like, okay, next time.
Should have paid attention to that fuel.
Well, it's like, yes, it's like... and also, I noticed you were wasting a lot of fuel.
That's what I do.
You know, you weren't feathering, you weren't running along the floor and that kind of stuff. And I just let you get on with it because I expected you'd probably find fuel. It's normal mode, there's plenty of fuel around, but you found it just a little bit too late.
Oh, this is, oh fuck. Oh, I've ruined it, Paul. I've ruined it all. It's not gonna happen. We're gonna get to the end, and it's gonna be as usual. Like, I get so close to achieving something, and then my jetpack's just gonna run out at the last second. But we're gonna do it. just to show y'all that it's not easy to survive. You really gotta learn the strats, understand strategies.
Well, the thing is, even if you were on easy mode, you would have still died, because resource management it's no easier on the easiest difficulty level. It just does less damage. Oh, there was slightly more resources spawn on the easiest level, but only a tiny amount. Basically, the only difference between the easiest level and this level. Right, before you start going down there.
Oh no, I've already fucked up, Paul. We're way beyond advice at this point.
I'd go up. Just go up. Go up. Up. Just go up. Go all the way up. Go for you, because it's above you.
Oh my goodness.
Don't fall all the way down to come back up again.
Oh no. Oh, it's not happening, Paul.
Just go up. And go up to your...
The dream is not happening. We're gonna get right there. Would it have been better to drop one of them?
You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Just don't wait. Don't hold thrust constantly. Like 90% of the time. Thrust, let go a tiny bit. Thrust, let go a tiny bit. Thrust, let go a tiny bit. Because it's like
I'm feathering.
If you're at maximum lift, like I said, he's only got a I don't think you'll make it as long as you don't fuck up. Thrust a bit more than you're thrusting. You're losing momentum.
Oh my goodness.
In fact, just hold it. Just hold it.
Oh my goodness.
Speed in the air, so just thrust.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Make it. Just constantly.
We did it. We did it. We got the fuel.
Be careful. Just because you made it up there, you've still got to get to your repair bay. Don't use any more fuel.
Oh my goodness.
You still got to get to your repair bay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna fly over this thing and drop it in. Oh no, no! Oh, it's not. I fucked up, Paul. Wait, I can still jump, right?
Yeah, but you can't. You can't fly. Oh, have you run out?
I think so.
You had made it, but you wasted so much fuel flying around
no.
over the top of your ship.
How do I get?
You could winch yourself in there.
Oh, you are 100% right.
Just grapple yourself across into the room. You'll be able to do it. But don't fall down into the bottom, because then the doors will close and you won't be able to grapple out. Make sure you don't fall into the bottom. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this. You're going to do this. So grapple as high as you possibly can.
Oh, son! Oh my goodness. Woo! Look at the fuel go, baby. Look at the fuel go. Oh, I survived. Oh my goodness. Oh, beautiful. And then my ship, is my ship gonna get a little fuel as well?
The ship's already refueled.
Oh, is it all? Oh my God, let's...
Okay, so let's just pause for a second here, okay? What lessons have we learned?
Oh my goodness.
Be very careful with fuel now, okay?
Careful with fuel.
Okay, now, before you move this ship and go and do anything, have a look and see if there's any more fuel on this planet. We know we've got one more fuel crystal.
Right here.
Because fuel is going to kill you unless you find some more. So it's absolute 100% our highest priority is finding that. We're going to get that fuel, and we've got to find some more.
All right.
And if this planet doesn't have it,
we should just go.
Then we probably need to just go.
But do you think that one crystal is worth it?
Oh yeah, but the question is, do you take your lander to get it?
I think I take the lander. I think I take the lander. Because I think I can build more momentum and just go from outside the atmosphere and then just be able to drop down in.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Now, I think, not 100% sure, but I think the stalagmites on this planet can give fuel.
Don't know if I want to risk it.
I think they can, but I'm not 100% sure if it's these that give fuel. So what I'll say is, when you land to collect that fuel crystal, if you can run into a cave and test the stalactite, do so. Well, if you can run into the cave and not use any extra fuel. So you stay above the atmosphere, and feather. Because this is where you've got a maximum speed on your lander. When you hit it, holding thrust isn't going to make any difference.
Right.
So when you're in the atmosphere, you can generally want to be at about a 45-degree angle, and then you thrust for about 70% of the time. So it's like thrust and then off for a little bit and then thrust. So you maintain your maximum speed and you maintain your altitude, but you don't need to thrust constant.
And now we are going to slowly descend upon this final crystal.
As you're not moving anything on as you're dropping, you're using no fuel at all. But if you're rotating, or if you're rotating,
the rotating does it as well. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Rotating requires just a little bit of fuel to rotate. You'll see the little thrusters on the nose of the ship firing when you're rotating, but it only uses a tiny amount. But still,
at this point,
possible.
I need it.
Yeah, that's more efficient because look at the amount of fuel you used to get there compared to what fuel you used when you were just using Bob. But you had no choice before because your lander would have been stranded.
Oh, that was so crazy. Okay. Now, onward and upward!
You know what? Oh no, I was going to say, considering you've got nobody in chat, you would probably be better off just maximizing the screen so we can see.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, let's do that.
You might as well, because it's aliasing quite hard.
Is it?
Yeah.
I also have the game windowed as well, so that may be part of it. I don't have the best stream setup, unfortunately. But let's get back to the ship and then we'll expand it. Get out in the atmosphere. Now, what happens if I just like fly up? I've never tried that. Can I just escape?
There is a limit.
Okay.
The way the game stops you from flying too far away is your thrusters stop working at a certain point. There isn't actually a wall, but there's the equivalent of a wall. It's like your thrusters stop working, so you just start to fall back down again. Because otherwise you'd see that the world doesn't continue forever.
Oh no. Okay. Boom. Get the lander back in there.
So
Beautiful.
Yeah, just a good rule of thumb in this survival mode is just you try to be as efficient as humanly possible with all resources, unless you've got plenty. And you will get to the point where you've got plenty. You will stock up and fill up on everything. In normal mode, you will. But until you've got excess resources, you have to be very careful because you don't know whether you're going to run out.
True that.
But that's true of invasion mode too. You have to be careful.
I noticed.
But it's just a little bit more because there's two numbers that determine how many crystals spawn on a planet. And it's unique for every planet. So every planet has a min crystal count and a maximum crystal count. And it will spawn a number between those two values. But in survival mode, I artificially alter those based on the difficulty. And so on normal difficulty, the max number of crystals that can spawn on a planet is reduced by 1. So like your average planet will have, like an asteroid will normally spawn 2 to 4 crystals, and in survival mode it'll spawn 2 to 3 crystals.
Okay.
It just reduces it just a little bit.
What'd you say?
Were you concentrating?
Yeah. I'm very wrapped into the game here,
right.
Which is good. It's very good.
What I said wasn't really that important.
Okay. So, cool. I am going to check out this big mamba jamba right here. Large frigid. Oh, no. Never mind. Ooh.
No, large and frigid is fine.
Do you think there's fuel on there?
I mean, I would jump to that planet just north of where you are, just above you, because it's so close.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Okay.
Yeah, it was so close, and it's like it'll use very little jump fuel, and you might as well get the resources off it before you move on.
Let's give it a go.
You haven't been there before, I can see. So yeah. And I mean, if there's no fuel there, it's like it's touch and go whether you should even visit the planet, because you're still very low on fuel, I think. What is the situation? Bob's full of fuel, you're full of fuel?
The lander's got about 75%.
Oh, is that all?
That's all.
All right, you're gonna have to look very closely on this planet because dark black fuel you'll not see it. You're gonna have to, because the caves get very, very dark on this planet. So you could be looking at fuel and not see it. The deeper the caves go on this planet, the darker they get.
Let's scan the exterior here. It doesn't look like a whole lot is on the exterior. Just some
One
rocks.
of the new things added in the last update was some cave systems, which include this planet, get darker the deeper they get.
Oh, really?
So when you're looking in the caves, you could literally just not see the fuel crystals because they're just hidden in the darkness. But no, I'm not seeing any on the surface, which is not unusual. It's like much less likely to spawn on the surface than in caves.
Oh, here we go. There's some fuel and there's some stalagmites.
Oh, that's good. Okay, that's you saved. Yeah, you can check the stalagmites as well. While you're there, is there anything else in this cave system?
It's a little ilmenite.
Yeah, and there's a mushroom.
Okay.
Well, you want the ilmenite, you want the mushroom, you want the fuel. Oh, no, that's nothing. That was just a trip. I thought that was something else.
So I should be able to land in
You
here.
can check the stalagmites and see if any of those have got fuel. But watch out for those purple and the wisps. They hurt.
Yeah, they follow you around a little bit, don't they?
The blue one doesn't. The blue one's random. The pink one, I'll tell you the secret of its AI. Once every 10 or 15 seconds, it will see if it can see anything or you. And if it sees you, it will move kind of 50% towards you.
Okay.
So over time, it will actually end up. So it's kind of like the AI I was thinking it's coming to, the purple ones come to check you out a little bit. They move a little bit closer, but they're a little bit scared. They don't know what you are. And then they move a little bit closer again. So the purple ones, you can lure away from where you want them to be.
Oh, no.
But both of them hurt a lot. And the blue ones are random, but the purple one, oh, yeah, don't fly through him, it hurts. Oh, and you flew through him.
Yeah, right through him.
But not too bad, it wasn't too bad, didn't take that much damage.
Yeah, you can see him already kind of wiggling his way over here.
Yeah, so it's like he won't just fly straight across to you, but it's technically possible he could just fly straight into you because he could move 50% towards you, and then he kind of goes into his just mooching around mode, and he could technically fly straight into you. So
all right.
They're very RNG based. It's like he's doing his thing, and you think, oh, he's not going to get me, and then suddenly he's on you, all on top of you.
Yeah, and even if they're not coming after you, they're just in very inconvenient places sometimes, and you kind of have to figure out how to live with them.
Like that's so dangerous that he's doing that so close to you now.
Okay.
That was
was close.
because they hurt. They really hurt. And you've got no armor yet, so they seriously hurt.
If I can get this ilmenite, though,
I would leave. Well. Yeah,
you think so?
Oh no, actually no. You can run past the blue one. He's not going to chase you. The blue one is not interested in you. He's completely random. It's almost like the blue one literally can't see you basically. As far as the code goes, he's just doing his own thing. I mean, he might randomly move in your direction.
Right.
It wouldn't be deliberate.
Okay, so I'm going to try to do this in a way so that the ilmenite does not fall.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're starting to get your efficiency now, yeah. Grapple both ilmenite to each other, and then grapple them to the ceiling. And then they can't fall down, and you don't waste any fuel or energy collecting it and stuff.
Yeah. Just like...
Because the other thing with this mode is you're not really in any rush anymore.
No.
Because... yes, technically, doing things quickly gives you a slight advantage at the beginning of the game because the replicons are arriving after certain times.
Yeah.
So getting things done soon is better. But if you've got any chance of beating the game, you're going to be here for 20 plus hours. So rushing now isn't going to make any big difference in the grand scheme of things. Because if you can't survive the first 2 hours, you're not going to survive 20.
I am going to... Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Shoot him! Well, I might be taking some Replicon parts with me as well.
Do be careful with the wisps. You know, don't take too many risks around those wisps. If you get an opportunity to just fly out of there, just fly out of there.
That is my goal right now.
Because they do so much damage. You know, it's like you kind of all set up, and it's like if you find that window where they've moved out of the way and you can just get out of there, just do it.
Oh gosh, I gotta get this one thing.
You're getting very lucky, to be honest, not taking any damage because you're running the gauntlet with these crazies next to you.
Oh, this is... Oh, I'm just gonna have to take the hit. Oh, I got it. I got hit, but it's okay. I got the stuff. I got the goods. We are on the way out. Back to the mothership, where I should be able to upgrade the armor.
At some point, I must have reduced the damage on the wisps, because my memory was they do a lot more damage than that.
They did do an incredible amount of damage before.
Yeah, I'm pleased that I changed so many things like that over time, but that's about right. That's how much damage I want a wisp to do to you.
Okay, so we're just gonna position this and then release everything.
I know what it is. I'm used to watching Dr. Doof, who's another streamer, and he's like 120, 130 hours played on the game, and he plays at max difficulty. So
Oof.
I'm used to the wisps doing 300% damage, and he's just getting wrecked.
All kinds of good stuff here now. It did not tell me that I can upgrade my suit yet. So maybe I still don't have...
No, you still need some more. Yeah, I think that was up to 6 you'd collected, and you need 2 more, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 39. I have 39.
So you have 39, you need 50, so 2 more is enough, because one of the big Ilmenite rock is worth 7, and the small Ilmenite rock is worth 5, so that's 12, so that'll put you up to 51 total. So you just need 2 more.
I might just look towards another planet, now that I have a bunch of fuel.
Yeah, there's never any point going down to a planet purely to collect Ilmenite. Ever. Because every planet has Ilmenite, and you'll just run past it frequently.
Yeah.
So there would never be a point to just collect Ilmenite because it's a waste of energy and fuel and everything. But if there's another reason to go down there, maybe.
Oh, look how dark it is in here.
The one thing you didn't do was check any of the... Oh, that's nice. That box there is one of the very rare things that has a fusion core in it. So it might be worth making a note that this planet had that.
Oh, and it's really not that far. But I'm a little resource scared. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're so low on your fuel's more important, but there's energy there.
We're gonna go and explore another place.
What are your resources like? How much jump fuel do you have? And how much energy do you have?
I got a lot of energy. I got some jump fuel.
Some.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's worth exploring.
You've actually got a decent amount of fuel too.
You think it's worth getting it?
It's very heavy. It's the only, with your current lander, you'll only be able to lift that. The other thing is, it's a fusion core that you won't need until you're doing tier 3. So you won't actually require that pickup until you're about 3 or 4 hours into the game.
Let's forget about it then.
If you're going to survive for 3 or 4 hours, it's actually not worth doing.
It's not. I don't think it's worth it right now, either way.
Because if you die, it would just be a waste and a risk.
Let's go explore somewhere yonder.
Back in a second, just need the toilet.
Sure. Let's see what we have here. Toxic planet. Large cage systems. Anomalies detected. So now we can see that the Replicons are really starting to grow in their influence. Let's go here. I'm interested to see what is here. And we're gonna back out. No caves, just looking for stuff on the surface. Got some nice, cute little plants all around. But I don't see I don't really see anything of... Oh, okay. There we go. We've got some energy. What else? Is that it? Oh, there we go. There's some ilmenite. I'm gonna remember to use the waypoints. Where is that?
Right, I'm
Other
back.
energy. We got the ilmenite. We got some more energy.
Okay, good.
Just marking my waypoints here.
Well, this is a very nice planet
Oh, it's great.
because you could literally drop down your lander and run all around this planet and not even waste energy using fuel at all.
I might just, yeah, just drag
I mean,
them.
you don't have to do that. You're not that low on fuel, but it's until you're kind of like stocked up to about 4,000. It's like, well, am I going to find enough fuel? Or am I not? But because this has got no real lumps and bumps and stuff, it's like most of it, you can just run up and down the hills.
We'll take the lander.
Saying that is also small, so
Take
so
the
you
car
can
out
just
for a
take the lander
drive.
around there a bit.
Nice Sunday
yes.
drive.
It's always worth taking the lander down to the planet to be able to bring stuff back up, but sometimes if you can just run across the surface of the planet, it's like, well, there's no point flying my lander all the way there if I can run half of it.
Yeah,
But like I said, it's like, you probably don't need to be that fussy. You were very unlucky at the start that you didn't find any fuel.
Whew, I still have no idea how we made it through that. That was incredible.
It was good though, wasn't it? It felt good.
That was so incredible.
to actually run out of fuel and have to grapple your way into the repair bay.
I mean, that's bare bottom right there. Let's watch out for the wisp.
See, when it's possible when you go visit the bigger planets that you might find 4 or 5 crystal sets on one planet. You know, you might find 2 hyperfuel and 2 fuel and an energy or something. Because the bigger planets can have quite a lot.
Right.
I'll tell you what, you're getting some horrendous aliasing on the stream.
That's yeah. I think
especially
that's
when you're zoomed out, because it's like you're playing the game in a window,
right.
and then you're capturing a part of the screen, aren't you, rather than capturing the window itself?
I'm capturing the window. Yeah, but the
because
game
you're then scaling. Oh, you're capturing the window and then rescaling it,
and
which
then
is
it's getting
causing
scaled.
the
Yeah.
aliasing.
So the game and all the graphic settings are at the lowest setting because my laptop just won't. It's a 6-year-old
Oh, right,
laptop.
okay. So you're also getting some pretty horrendous aliasing before. Oh, okay.
Right. So it's
yeah.
the game looks beautiful. I am not doing this game any justice at all, and I'm ashamed that I don't have a good machine to show it off with. I'm actually struggling with this right now because I have other YouTube channels where I do a lot of visual editing, and I'm finding that the software that I'm using just I can't do anything with it.
No, if you're doing any video editing, you need a really decent computer.
Oh, I'm in a sad state right now, Paul. You don't even know the start. Maybe next year, I'm gonna invest in a really, really great beefy laptop. Unfortunately, I live my life kind of on the go as well, so I can't really have a PC. But yeah, if I could get a new laptop every few years, that would be sufficient for me. Let's go ahead and grab some of these parts here. And then we're gonna get the ilmenite, and oh, I love the way the there's the little red thing when you're connected, or it turns red and green or red and yellow when the tether is long, or yeah.
Yeah, it's all to do with how much
line you have.
Yeah, how much is left.
And it's just so beautiful the way that it rolls around and changes colors. And
yeah, that was one of the very first things I put in the game, because when I was first developing Space Bob, I thought I'd just finished Neon Excesses, and that was such an enormous game that after 4 years of development, I felt there's just no time left for real polish, you know, the little things like you're just talking about. So with this game, I thought, right, I'm going to make a game where the main character and everything about it is really nicely polished, and all the little touches are in there and everything.
yeah.
And then I'm going to limit the amount of complexity in the game so I can polish everything, so everything's got that. There's
Right.
and of quality to it.
limiting complexity is so important when you're working on projects solo.
Yeah. And so this game, it's like, but then this game's ended up pretty big in the end too. I mean, it's not quite the same kind of scale as Neon Excesses, but I'll say one thing about Neon Excesses. I don't think 10% of, I don't think more than like 5% of players saw more than 10% of that game.
Oh wow.
You know, it was such a huge game, but most people never saw it because they'd played 10 or 15 hours of it. I mean, that's enough. You know, that's what I paid, $10 or $15. That's enough. I've played that game. But there was another 90 hours of gameplay in there if you carried on. It's just like, but you don't realize when you. I just wanted to make this great, huge game, and I would have been better off making a 15-hour game and spending a year and a half of it just polishing it and making it as clean and sharp. And
well, you have something special here, so I'm glad you moved on to other ideas and projects.
I like Space Bob. I like playing Space Bob. So I've been playing it for 3 years now, and I've had great fun with it this week playing survival mode.
The thing that really keys in for me is it reminds me a lot of those old Flash physics games that I used to play for hours and hours on web browser. They were just browser games, and the physics that was the whole focus of the game, was just doing different interesting things with the physics. And this is taking that concept and it is just bumping up the intensity like 2000%, you know, because those were very limited games, but this is really utilizing your graphics engine to do amazing stuff. And so it keys into a genre that I feel like has kind of died out and has made it really awesome. So that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, is it reminds me a lot of really great times and hours spent just screwing around and just being amazed by the physics of the game. Like, that's one of the key things here, is that the physics, you can see so many weird things happen and then you'll never see it happen again because you're just not in all of the elements are not in place to see that happen again, and it makes it really interesting. A lot of replayability.
Yeah, I think that's why I still can play it and still enjoy it, because every time you play Space Bob, you're solving a different physics problem.
Yes.
It's like, it is always different. Even for me, it's like, oh, well, what's the most efficient way to do this? You know, because the rock's just hanging in that weird place because of the procedurally generated resources. They're always in some weird place that needs a bit more thinking, and it can always be done more efficiently. So yeah, it keeps it fresh. But that's the lovely thing about physics-based games. It's, you know, you couldn't make the game the same twice if you tried.
Right.
Like if you collected these same crystals, you would have a completely different experience every time you collected them, because the physics would, you know, it would just be different each time. They would swing in a different way, something would fall away, a replicon would walk across and make you mess up, and stick things together in a different way, and, you know.
Yeah. New upgrade available.
There you go. So that's your armor.
So we'll get this going. We're gonna make Bob look cool.
Oh, does your teleporter working now?
Yes, it appears to be.
Okay, so my guess is that it's costing you 2,000. My guess is the teleporter is priced at 2,000.
Yeah.
And the message we got about it costing 1,000 needs fixing.
Yeah. So just need to look at the messages there.
Yeah. I have changed that code multiple times this week, and I think the code for the message was on the old algorithm rather than the new one, so let me just add that to my notes as well.
I am cool looking Bob now. Wait until I get that carbon fiber. Titanium lander armor, enhanced thrusters, quantum sensor. Wait, what is... What is... Oh, okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna go heal myself, and...
Is this the longest you've survived in a game?
No, I've played it quite a bit, just on my personal time, and was a bit more judicious with my actions. But I like to be a bit more ridiculous for the stream because I just think that it makes it more fun to watch. But I've lasted pretty long.
You're gonna run into those situations whether you like it or not, where it's exciting. You don't need to force them. Space Bob's gonna that's naturally how it is. And if it didn't, then it's time to increase the difficulty by a notch. You know, so it just takes that little bit of extra damage, so it forces it.
I remember at one point, I was playing with myself and I got to the second act and I got.
You don't want to tell people that on stream.
Tell them what?
You were playing with yourself.
I've said way worse things on stream.
So there I was playing with myself and playing some Space Bob.
Yeah, I think the people that watch me expect that at this point. They'd be disappointed if I wasn't. Let's go to another. I don't want to go to a toxic planet. Those are scary.
Okay, so that big. No, don't worry. So that blue one, the big blue one.
The ice one.
Oh, I see. You're there. Hang on, you're there. Have you been to the? No, you don't go to the. Yeah, don't go to the pink one. That one that you're pointing at's okay. Did you go to the big blue one?
I have not.
Okay, well the big blue.
You think
one
there's something nice there?
The big ones spawn more crystal.
Let's go.
You've just got a whole bunch of little ones.
Let's go to it.
Yeah, go to it while you kind of, because the alternative would be to be efficient, you'd have to swing around a whole bunch of others. So yeah, because the chances are this planet will have 3-4 crystals on it, which will make you feel a lot more comfortable once you've collected.
Oh, but...
And then you could move to the right towards another biggish yellow planet. I mean, it might not.
Let's see.
This planet will have like the ability to spawn something like 2 to 5 crystals. But it might just randomly choose to give you 2 instead of 5. But the bigger planets tend to spawn more than the smaller ones. Well, they almost certainly do.
Little Ilmenite here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any much crystal though. I think you got the bad RNG.
No, I got screwed.
I'm guessing all the crystals have spawned inside that room you can't get in. They're blacked out.
No, there's nothing in here. It's completely empty.
Just give it. Oh, now it's all blacked out. You can't see inside there.
Oh, this part you can't.
No, not until you open the door. It's all blacked out.
Gotcha. Okay. But there was another area over here, which.
And that door, literally, you can never get in. That door can only open in Act 3 of Invasion mode. It's part of the storyline.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks like
that
you just
a little
some
Ilmenite.
Look.
A little bit of fuel.
I could teach you how to salvage live wasps.
I feel like that's
in a very good position to do it. Oh, there's some fuel.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in here. I'm not too.
But the liquid is methane, which hurts. So you can get it for sure. You can go through there. The methane doesn't hurt that badly, so you can do it. But you would use quite a lot of fuel collecting. Oh no, actually, you can just go down in there, go through the water. Yeah,
it's not too bad. For this Ilmenite, it's not too bad. Let's mark it.
I wouldn't get the Ilmenite, but I'd definitely get that fuel.
Where was the?
The fuel's just above. Above where you put the 3. It's just stuck to a wall above the pool.
Oh, there we go. Oh no, that's not it.
Where you put the number 3.
Oh, here we go. Right.
It's hard to see sometimes in the dark.
Okay.
Just stick in there. Have you got it?
So.
There's more then. That's another one. Because there's some just to the left of the 3 and there's some just above the 3. So there's 2 sets of fuel. Where you put the number 3 mark.
Oh wow! Okay, look at all this fuel. All right.
To the left of it and some above it.
Well, we're gonna go right there.
So
right
you'll be
now.
able to get 6. Yeah, that'll stock you up plenty.
Let's do it.
But do be careful. The water here does do damage, so you're going to want to go through it as fast as possible.
Thankfully, I got my armor upgrade as well.
It's significant, you know. So it's like you don't want to be hanging around in the water any longer than you do. You don't want to be trying to drag 6 crystals through the water. You want to be thinking, right, how can I get these crystals in and out of here as fast as possible?
Oh, you're challenging me, Paul. You've set a challenge for
I just want you to
me.
be efficient. You can definitely do this. It's not like super dangerous, but you're going to take some damage as Bob goes through that liquid. So you're going to want to be in and out of the liquid as quick as you can.
Come on, Meow. Also have to be concerned with... Oh, there's some wasps coming after me.
Yeah.
Coming in hot.
Now another thing, I don't know whether you do it yet, is whenever you go in a cave like this that's got quite a tight little entrance, you can park your lander in the cave entrance door and block it so nothing can come in.
Oh, I've never thought about that. I'm gonna fight off some wasps for a little bit here. Get in closer. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no, Paul. Oh no, Paul.
As long as you're above them, wasps can't hurt you. Oh, this isn't. It's not so good. Stay above them. Stay above them. It's like your feet can't take damage. So you can stand on a wasp and not take damage. You're like Mario. Your feet don't take damage.
I may have to.
Yeah, you might have to go for some repairs.
Yeah. Shucks. Well, it would have been worth it to just pull them all in there instead. I really goofed that one up.
You can quickly grab a few of their body parts and then go for some repairs.
That's a good call. I like that.
Just a few, not too many, because otherwise you'll end up getting attacked by more stuff. But like, grab 2 or 3 body parts, take them up.
Why don't you just stay over there? Okay. Thank you.
But while you're doing this, I'll talk to you about how to salvage live wasps, and it's actually quite easy.
Let's hear it.
Because Bob can move and fly faster than wasps.
Okay.
So you can have 15 wasps chasing you and be completely immune to them because you move faster than they do.
Right.
So you get 15 wasps chasing you, and then you maneuver them all the way up to your refinery ship. Just fly Bob up to the refinery ship with 15 wasps chasing you. And then fly down into the refinery bay, and the wasps all just chase you down into the refinery bay. And then you put Bob into the refinery. You know, fly him up into the hole where everything gets sucked up into. It doesn't
They just
hurt
get
Bob.
eaten.
No, it doesn't hurt Bob, and then they all chase Bob into the refinery and refine themselves.
Right.
And each wasp has 50 energy and 50 fuel inside it. So if you've got 10 of them chasing you, that's a free 500 fuel, 500 energy, and then all of the other parts that they have, you know, like some magnetics and polymers and other stuff.
That's great.
And it's very easy to do. I mean, not many players know you can do it. It's one of those advanced strats, but it's super effective, and it's super useful because if you're literally running out of energy and fuel and there's none on the planet and you can't fly to another planet, it's one of the only ways you can survive. Like, well, I've got to salvage some live wasps then and get 500 fuel and 500 energy off them to craft some hyperfuel to jump to the next planet, maybe.
Let's get this in
So if you're
here.
playing this on a smeggy laptop with no anti-aliasing, you would love this when you upgrade and you see just how beautifully smooth everything is.
I'm waiting for the day that I can do these cool things, really, because it even looks great for me here. Like I see the aliasing and stuff, but I think I've watched other people play it, so I've been able to see a good experience. I'll get there one of these days. Just gonna let
so is it a matter of money, or just you've not got round to buying a laptop?
It's I have a lot of other expenses right now, a lot of other things to focus on, and it's not a huge need. So like I have a laptop from work that I can do video editing and stuff on, so it's not imperative for me to change it out right now. But I don't think it hurts to wait at this point, so I'm just gonna keep waiting, since streaming hasn't really been a huge focus for me as well, and I haven't had a huge amount of time to play games, so it's been really good to help me focus on other things. yeah, the streaming is never going to be like a big thing, a primary thing for me, so I don't want to go too crazy on it, but I have other things that require having a really good microphone and being able to video edit, so getting some of those things have fallen in line with being helpful for streaming, but it's definitely not a focus. Okay, we're gonna fall down in here.
So we were busy talking then. Did you repair Bob?
Oh God!
I wasn't focusing, but I thought, well, this is the kind of thing you forget to do. You went all the way back there to repair Bob, and I can't remember watching you repairing Bob.
We're doing it, Paul. We're just gonna go for this.
Oh man, don't just go for it. You're an hour and 14.
We're going.
Worth the risk?
Well, here's the thing. I've got about 10-15 minutes left to stream, so we're gonna try to see if we can do another high risk maneuver while this person is over here just cheering me on.
You can't afford to, because the maneuver you have to do requires going through liquid that's going to damage you. You need full energy. You need full health.
But how? Let's see how much I get damaged here.
The only other thing you could do is collect the other Replicon loot and go back first, because if you go through that liquid, that's going to kill you.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do, and that might.
But you can save the game and carry on later.
Oh, that's okay. I'll get it started again. So it's not possible to have like multiple saves, is it? No. It's just
you can have a save and invasion mode. I mean, you could literally do this, possible, but like you need to be so careful and not take any more damage before you try and get some of this fuel out. And you don't want the fuel falling in the liquid. I mean, you can get in and out of here. The liquid doesn't do that much damage, but it's going to be such a touch and go maneuver.
Yeah, we're gonna try this.
Killing yourself here because the stream's ending seems a bit daft. You could just save the game and carry on later.
Let's try this. Let's see if I can get 2.
I think you can get 2 if you're careful.
Oh gosh.
It all depends on how skillful you are. Do you know how to grapple these fuel things and then detach the other at the same time? It's possible, but do you know
Oh no, I lost one! Okay, well I got one, so we're gonna finish this. Oh, I got hit by the
Okay, well you actually okay, and then yeah, the splash shirts as well. You don't want to go through that. And the Replicons are pushing your lander all over the place.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, I'll actually. You can do what you wanted to do there, which was grapple the crystals. You could have grappled the crystals first and then detached them from the wall, without losing the grapple to the crystals.
How?
So what you do is you grapple the crystals.
Right.
So you're attached to them, and then you fire the grapple laser. And while you're pointing at the node that you want to release, the grapple laser turns red.
Right.
Whenever the grapple laser points at a node, it turns red, and while the grapple laser's red, it never fire another grapple line. So you grapple the crystals that you wanted, then you point at the node you want to detach, let go of the button, it will not fire another grapple line, but that new node will be highlighted, allowing you to detach it without breaking the first one.
Okay.
So basically, the lesson is, if the grapple laser is green, it will always fire a grapple line when you let go, and if the grapple laser is red, it will never fire a grapple line when you let go. And you use that knowledge to do what you needed to do.
That is.
So you can literally be hanging from the ceiling,
yeah,
and then select another grapple somewhere else and manipulate it while still hanging from the ceiling.
So we'll try that.
I mean, the grapple guide video on the front page of Steam goes through that and talks about it and shows you it in video form how it's done. And so yeah, you hang in there and you see, as soon as you touch a node, the grapple laser will turn red.
Green. Oh, red. Right. So it'll release it.
Red. Yeah. So hang from the ceiling. Just hang from the ceiling.
Let's try that.
Test it out.
I'm hanging.
You want to kill yourself.
So now I'm hanging.
So you're hanging. Now use your grapple laser and point at the node of another grapple. And it'll go red and let go when the laser's red. So hold down the button to fire another grapple line, but don't let go yet. When it goes red, said you can let go at any point and it won't fire another grapple line. But you've got the other one selected. So you can then manipulate that other grapple line. Whichever grapple line is green is the one you're now in control. So you could delete that other grapple line, you can extend the other grapple line. So yeah, you can be attached to something while selecting another line and manipulating the other line.
Fancy next level stuff. We are going to take this back to the ship. Got a few things here. A little bit of fuel. Probably a bunch of magnetics.
Refine it all. Quit to desktop or just quit and it'll save your game and then you can come back later and carry on.
Let's get it going.
Because this is survival mode and it's all about just surviving for basically as long as you can. I can't imagine you're going to survive for 25 hours and complete the game, but who knows? If you've survived an hour and a half, and this is, I would say this is actually well, it's not quite the most difficult part of the game because the rasks haven't appeared yet. Or have they? No, they haven't yet. But like, at this point in the game, you've only just got armor. You know, and your lander doesn't have any armor. The game just gets easier the more you play it because you just get upgrades. You get more upgrades and you get more.
And that's what I was going to say is once you have a bunch of resources, once you have some upgrades, and once you understand the strategies, it should be fairly easy to just continue to explore and find all the cool little things.
It will be on this difficulty. And then it's like, and then I've set it up so the other difficulty levels reduce the amount of crystals and they make the replicons appear a bit faster and the damage is increased. So as you get better at the game, you can just increase the difficulty to keep the challenge there so it doesn't get boring. Because for me on normal difficulty, it's just trivially easy. So it's actually boring. But I just up the difficulty slightly and it's just as interesting as it is for you playing it now. You know, it's a threat and it's a challenge constantly and you have to constantly do things as efficiently as possible.
I am going to heal myself here.
So now your priority looks like it's going to be hyperfuel, where you're getting short on hyperfuel.
Yeah, do I have a lot of... Okay. Yeah, so it'd be good to find some of that.
Saying that, on this planet you've still got 5 more fuel crystals to collect.
Oh, look at this
and
wasp.
You can always use fuel and energy.
This wasp wants to get eaten up. Let's go, buddy.
Alright, well do what I told you.
Let's do it, buddy.
Into the refinery. Just fly slowly
onward
into the refinery, make it chase you, and then get Bob all the way up into there where they get sucked up into.
Boom! 2,400 points. I'm eating good today.
Okay, so that gave you like 50 energy, 50 fuel, 1 ilmenite, 1 magnetics, 1 polymer, and 3 quartz.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you get more stuff when they're alive because obviously it's trickier to do and most players don't know it's actually quite that easy. I've even seen pro players grappling all the wasps together and dragging them up and trying to grapple them into the refinery room, and it's like, well, no, you just have them chase you in there. It's actually quite easy. But I like different layers of complexity like that in a game where eventually you learn it and think, oh right, actually quite easy to do.
Looking good. My ship has survived. I have survived despite all of my best efforts not to do so. And I'm super hyped about survival mode. I can't wait to see this released and have everyone else have a chance. Paul, it's always a pleasure to have you on here, rapping about the game, hearing about new stuff. So I really appreciate you coming on here.
No worries, man. Don't forget to go to the quit menu. Don't just close the game.
Let's do that right now.
As soon as you go to the quit menu, you can't quit without it saving your game. It's going to quit, but obviously, if you Alt F4, it won't.
We're gonna go to the main menu here, and that is it. SpaceBob versus the Replicons survival mode. Can you survive? You will be able to find out soon. Thank y'all for watching. Paul, thank you again. I'm out. Peace.
See you later, man.